I'm mad. I'm madder than a hornet. I have to get this off my chest. It's driving me nuts. So, all right. I've been doing this podcast now for a few months. Partnered up with my buddy Dusty, and we are running this podcast together. Dusty's doing a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. He's also my manager. And so I'm putting out content, and we set up a whole thing. This is how we're going to do it. And I was all excited. Yep, we're going to do it this way. Part of the thing is, Dusty said, you got to put out a show every week. And I'm like, I can handle that. And I've been handling that. I've been putting out a show every week. I get the show recorded, and then I edit it, and I get it chopped up into shorts, and I get it loaded up there, and Dusty takes it from there. And it's been going fine. Here's the thing, all right? I bought a house. And in the process of buying the house, I had to move into that house. Now, I thought Dusty was going to be like, all right, dude, you just bought a house. We just started this podcast. It's not like there's a bunch of followers right now. So why don't you take a couple weeks and get moved and settled? And I'm like, that, in my mind, I really thought he was going to say that. I wasn't even going to ask, like, you think it'd be okay? I was just thinking, yeah, Dusty will just, it's natural. We're at the beginning stages of the podcasting. So I thought for sure, no. That's not what he's doing at all. He's telling me, you better get some shows recorded so that you can have time to move. And so I did. I got some shows recorded. But then the process of moving and the closing and all of that, I never got the chance to really get caught up again when we burned through those shows. So I start moving. Dusty never says, hey, man, just take a week off or take a couple weeks off. He never said it. He says, hey, man, you're going to get a couple shows done this weekend. I'm like, I'm moving. It's a big deal. I'm moving into my new space. So, not a care. He doesn't even, his eyes don't even change. Like, he doesn't even, like, smile about it or anything. He's like, yeah. So, this is the process. My studio is not even together yet. I am not even there. There's so much to do. This is the part I love. I have gotten everything moved over, which is great. That feels super amazing. So I don't have to make any trips outside of my own space now to go get more stuff. I just have to deal with the stuff that's here. And if you've moved, and I'm sure everybody's moved, dealing with the stuff, the unpacking, that is, but when you're doing it with a studio, the unpacking is like so fun, and you're just like, I'm building this fresh, it's gonna look different. I got this thing out today and got my KRK reference monitors out, and I've got nothing plugged in. There's like nothing happening. And then I've even set up over here. This is going to be my podcasting couch. And it is really going to be so awesome because when I start having guests on the show, look, I got stuff everywhere. This is crazy. When I start having guests on the show, we can sit and podcast like the best of them. I'm so excited about this space. I'm so happy that I'm get to build a studio and that I get to have guests, and it's going to feel like a podcast studio. That's exactly what it's going to feel like. And I feel like my guests are going to be feeling like, okay, yeah, good. This is not just some put together thing. This is a full-on podcasting studio. It's also going to dub as my recording studio. I used to have a recording studio years ago, and I recorded bands and singer-songwriters and I mean rap artists. I was creating beats for rap artists and I was producing so many albums. And so when I got away from that, going into live sound, doing more live sound, I've always had that in the back of my mind. I missed the studio. And so through the process of life, moving and all of that, I never had the chance to rebuild my studio. And now I'm going to have that chance to rebuild the studio. I'm going to be able to have a full on band and I'll be able to produce an entire album down here and for a full band, singer songwriters, whatever. I'm so excited about that. And I'll be able to get the drums out again and start playing and get my piano out and start playing again and making some music. And this for me is living my best life. This is exciting for me. I can't even tell you how excited I am. But back to my original point, I'm mad at Dusty because Dusty, the thing is we don't really have that many followers. And so if I were to take a week off, which I did last week, I mean, I was overwhelmed. I was in the process of just moving everything. So now that I'm fully moved, I still don't want to be recording right now. I want to be recording, but I want my studio together first. Well, Dusty, when I told him, I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry I didn't get a show done. This is last week. He was like, like he was mad. And I don't even think he does care. But if he doesn't care, he's not breaking character. He stays in full character. He's just telling me, oh, and I tell him, oh, I got this done. He says, well, did you have to get that done? You could have been making a show. You could have been recording. I'm like, oh my gosh, man. So here I sit today, seriously thinking about, okay, I need to just get moved and get settled and get my studio put together and get all of this. This needs time, needs some effort. I got wires to run and things to plug in and sound checks to do. And I got pictures to hang on the wall, all this stuff that has to be done. I was thinking, I don't need to do a podcast this week. I can take another week off. But all I could think about was the look on Dusty's face when I had to tell him. And I couldn't make myself not do it. So I'm just thinking, I'm just going to make a podcast. The podcast is called Just Davit. So it is stories about my life. And so far, those stories have been the things that have happened. But this one is the thing that is happening. I'm putting the podcast together. I'm building the studio. It's going to be fantastic. My future shows are just going to be so fun. I can't wait to have guests right here on this couch, and just the whole idea of it and just the interview style. And this thing is growing into something that I am so excited about. I'm glad you're here with me. I'm glad you're sticking it out with me through my moving process. And I think you need to leave something in the comments for Dusty and let him know he needs to stop being mean to me.